What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome, friends. I'm just kind of out of stream titles at this point, so you got what I got. Man. Yo, Mordecai, what's up? My day's been all right. I have a fire to put out at work, just out of nowhere, which kind of sucks, but the nature of the job. How we doing, everybody? Welcome. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm up to today. Just kind of fucking vibing. Just vibing. Oh, I moved something from my left screen and now it feels naked. Where did it go? Here. What's going with Destiny? Nothing. That's the point. It's just weird. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Change the title to Playing Expedition 33. Nah, I'm not in the mood, man. I'm not in the mood. Maybe Blueprints. Maybe, maybe some light grind? My windshield got cracked by a pebble driving back to the college today. That fucking sucks, dude. I got a new car a couple of years ago. And literally in the first week of me getting a new car, my windshield got cracked 3 times because right by where I work, the interstate is like the median is gravel instead of grass. My old car, drove it for a year and a half here. Nothing ever happened. You know, it was my high school car, so I mean I drove it for like 10 years, but I drove it for a year and a half. Specifically here, nothing ever happened, and then like I swear to God, 3 times within a week, my fucking windshield got cracked. So I still have little. They're below a quarter, and they don't impede my vision or whatever, so they're fine. But man, yeah, man, maybe some Borderlands. I don't know if like streaming Borderlands might actually fucking kill my computer. What lot am I? I think I'm pretty high. I don't know, man. It just fucking feels different. That's all I got. It's like I think the whole gaming sphere to me just feels different right now. And like how people interact with games, not even gaming, like media in general feels so different recently. And maybe that's just me getting old, but it feels much more like I feel like things are much more almost like reactionary. They blow up out of nowhere, and then they're popular for a couple of months, and then it's on to the next thing. Like it's hard to, and I'm a guy who loves to get obviously invested in franchises and worlds and stuff, and just feels like nothing really sticks that much anymore. There's a couple examples. I mean, the Boys stuck. That's relatively new. You know, stuff like that, but nothing really. I just feel like so few things stick. Yeah, you ever played Warframe? No, I don't. I'm not interested. This is a fucking cool shader, though. Also, speaking of reactionary, the rewards for Arc Raiders resets, the optional resets, aren't even worth it, by the way. It's much worse than we thought. Look, man. Hey, it seems like that game's doing pretty well, so good for it, man. I think That's good. Every fandom is a toxic hellscape now as well. Can't enjoy anything without dealing with the noise. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's, yeah, it's one of those things, man. I don't know. It's just kind of brutal. Plus, we're all getting older. It's like, we're all getting fucking older. The world sucks right now. It's like, ah, shit, bro. Ah, shit. Hey, it is what it is. We'll be aight. We'll be aight. I hope everyone's, oh. We'll be aight. You should play Pokemon Legends ZA. It's not. Maybe it's a me thing, dude, because you guys keep suggesting things. I'm like, nah, it doesn't interest me. Maybe I've changed. No, because there's plenty of games I like playing right now. Don't get me wrong. If I like genuinely, if I wasn't scared Borderlands would obliterate my PC, I would probably play it. I would stream it a lot more, but it is probably the least optimized game I've ever played in my entire life. It's so bad. It's like a 50-50 shot I can even start the fucking thing still. I would play Arc Raiders if it wasn't third person. Yeah, I think I would be much more inclined as well. If I'm kind of over the fucking. We've had so many games that are just like, just brown. Like the character of the game is just dust. You know what I mean? It was cool when the first Borderlands did it, but now, holy fuck, dude. We have so many games that are just like, I mean, even fucking half of Warzone is just the color brown. You know what I mean? All of PUBG. It's just like, I don't know. Oh, great. That was really good. That was a really good use of my, oh my god, my sensitivity feels so low. Does Borderlands 4 still have those problems on PC? Dog, it's every Unreal fucking Engine game has those problems on PC. I'm so sick of Unreal Engine. He's stealing my kill. Double down. Okay. How do you feel about Rising Season 2 being make or break for Destiny Rising? I don't know. I don't know about make or maybe. I don't know. It's hard to get a read on how well that game's doing anyways, but it doesn't, based off of the queue time for a lot of activities, it doesn't seem so well. Have you tried Arc Raiders yet? No. No, I don't really plan to. It doesn't, I don't know, man. I'm once again, like, I always want to preempt these conversations by saying, like, I'm really glad people are enjoying it. And I was hoping the feeling for me would change after release, but it just doesn't look. It doesn't look interesting. The gameplay looks really bad. I don't know. It's like, I'm glad people are enjoying it. It's just clearly, it's just not a game that's really catching my fancy. So, you know, I hope people enjoy it. That's cool. But you know, I was of the opinion before it launched. I told all my friends, I was like, I don't know what it is, but Arc Raiders feels like a psyop. And I will say, like, that feeling has definitely not changed. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But I'm glad, once again, though, like, my goal is never, I never want to sit here and be like, you shouldn't enjoy game. Because that's super toxic. Like, if you're enjoying it, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I hope you continue to enjoy it. I hope it has many fruitful years of content updates or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Forcer. It's just like, it's, the amount of content in Destiny Rising is nice for like a backup game, right? Like, I don't think it'll ever have enough content to sustain being someone's main game. At least not as far as I can tell. Like, it just doesn't, I don't know. Especially with the lack of, like, I feel like you're never surprised in that game too. But I need to take a shot every time I hear the words Arc Raiders. It is kind of the buzz nowadays. I mean, it is doing really well, which is good. Like, once again, I can't stress enough. I almost, like, there are very few instances where I think it is okay or a good thing for a game to fail, or like or okay to hope for a game to fail. Like, you know, if there's some sort of if it's like a fucking Web3 game, or it's like constructed using generative AI like overtly and like displacing people's jobs and stuff. Text-to-speech, that's like its own, that's kind of its own micro bucket of AI. I mean, like, fucking GPS companies have been doing text-to-speech for fucking 20 years, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of its own thing. That's kind of its own sub-genre of problem, I guess, but it's not, I don't know, at least in my book, it doesn't bother me as much as, like, using art or generating art or anything, but it's not good for games to fail, right? Because then, like, people stop taking risks, and then it's just bad for everybody. Yeah, I guess my point being, Austin, is like, this is something, it's sort of the way that like text-to-speech feels to me, to me, is very different, because once again, it has existed for decades. This is like, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as like computers making us more efficient, replacing jobs, like that sort of thing. It's not, I mean, ideally you would still have voice actors, like, don't get me wrong, that's the best case scenario, obviously. But it's, I don't put it in the same bucket as you know, Sora or any of those types of things. It sucks, but they're far from the only game to do it. They're far from the only industry to do it, and it's been happening since like almost the time I was born, right? They were also hired knowing they were doing text-to-speech. Oh, did they? Wait, did they train those off of like unique models? They're not just generic text-to-speech people. They actually hired voice actors to build the models off of. It's such a bad excuse. It's just different, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it sucks, but there's like, I don't know. It's a spectrum of things. This is far from the worst thing happening in the gaming space right now, I suppose, is how I'm looking at it. Oh, I'm queuing into comp. I didn't even notice that. Do you see Bungie killing Destiny 2 content creation in the next 1 to 2 years? Only if they have something to replace it. I don't think they ever want to do that, right? Arc Raiders is growing on me, but I do not get the massive hype. I saw someone call it an industry plant game. That's like literally, that's my line, bro. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it is what it is. Do you yeah, I want to revisit this. Do you foresee Bungie killing Destiny 2? Like, they're not going to do it willingly, right? I think it's important that it just feels like not even worth pointing this shit out at this point. But like, there's so much misinformation flying around, right? Like, there's like the like, don't get me wrong, Destiny's in an awful spot. Bungie's not a great spot, but it's like you know, everyone's like, oh, they almost stopped the game during Curse of Osiris. Well, that's not what they said. They were talking about if the rate of players dropping continued at that rate, right? Like, they weren't actually saying they were going to shut down the servers. It wasn't like, you hear like fucking Lucky and other people like be like, oh, they were days away. It's like, well, if you listen to the talk, that's not actually what the context was of that statement. Maybe they were, but that's not what Justin Truman was saying in that statement. He was saying if it continued at a consistent rate, then there would have been no players left. But that's not how rates ever work for anything like this, right? Decay curves do not exist in a linear fashion for anything, almost ever. You know, a lot of people love to be like, oh, Bungie wants Marathon to do well so they can kill Destiny. That's never been the goal. They very clearly set out that to be a 3 IP studio 5 years ago or so. And 1 IP is much, much fewer than 2 IPs. That's fact. I had to check that. That's true. It's just, but it's like, you hear people say shit, and it's like, it's not even worth fucking arguing anymore, because it's like, none of that changes the fact that the game is objectively in a fucking bad spot right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, we can either say it's bad, or we can hyperbolically say it's really bad. And it's like, you know, what is it even fucking worth my effort? Every year is the year Bungie will kill Destiny. Oh yeah, sorry, that was the conversation we were having. I forgot. I got off on a little tangent. So yeah, like, I don't... Look, there are so many factors surrounding, quote-unquote, the Bungie killing Destiny 2, right? Like, there's the Sony question. There's the actual Bungie question. I think at the end of the day, all of the moves that they've continually made over the last number of years, everything suggests they want Destiny to be a thriving franchise for a very long time, right? They put so much work into things that haven't panned out, but they've still put a lot of work into them. So it's not like they want this to happen at any point or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think, like, there's obviously, it's a very complex business, oh, fuck me, business environment right now. Like, content in general is kind of weird for, like, every piece of media. It's just a very weird landscape. The landscape of Bungie is significantly different than it was at any other point in Destiny's history, pretty much. Like, they have half as many employees as far as we can tell compared to when Destiny launched. When Destiny 2 launched, rather. Oh, motherfucker! Bro, that guy's laggier than my toaster. What the shit? You know, they have different business goals they have to hit. There's more, monetization within the game than ever before. Like, it's a very different environment, and so trying to compare it to literally any other time in Destiny's history is just a fool's errand, really. Are you going to Bungie? Astrocross has gone to Bungie to play test Renegades, although he kept saying he doesn't want to go and stay and play Arc Raiders. Wait, Astrocross has said outright that he's going to Bungie? When? Look at Marathon, and well, you know, if there's any other studio company, it would have been scrapped and canned. I completely disagree with that, dude. Like, I think that's, like, such a bullshit take. I don't know. Also, you know what I thought of today that actually really fucking pissed me off? There's some guy in chat complaining. This is some shit you see all the time, right? But some fucker in chat, you always get the people that are like, I miss the Bungie who makes the games they want to play. They changed their motto or whatever, right? Yeah, how about the fucking one time, Mr. Guy, they actually made the game they want to play, because Marathon directly spun off of a large part of the studio playing things like Tarkov and saying, hey, I think we can make a version of this we enjoy more. And then they do that and everyone's a little fucking bitch about it, bro. Like, wait, not like that, not like that. I don't mean don't make games you want to play like that, bro. Like, hello? I don't know, man. Nothing makes any sense anymore. Anyways. Oh my god, the fucking last word in 2025, bro? I was not paying attention. I thought that guy was my teammate. There's literally no way I just killed that guy. Ugh. They should make games I want to play. Fuck what they want to play. Oh, man. What studio are you talking about right now, Spade? Yo, Sky and Pino, what's up? Because the last numbers we have for Destiny from the last round of layoffs are closer to 300 devs. But once again, that was a year and a half ago, so who knows? Like we don't know. Like we don't know how that's changed over the last year and a half. But the last time we did get any insight into that, it was the Destiny 2 team was about half the size compared to when Destiny 2 launched.
A strong start.
So as far as I can tell, like these numbers are really hard to find, and they usually come from people who are like laid off or like angry quit and then like leak these numbers. So they're all gonna be unreliable anyways. But as far as I can tell, the best estimates we have are like Destiny 2 launched with like 600 to 650 developers, somewhere in there. And then at its peak was around like 800, 850, 900, somewhere in there, around Witch Queen. And then now at the time of the last layoffs, right after the final shape, seemed to have decreased to around 300 or 350. But, you know, there's a number, you know, people being moved to other projects, some, you know, studios being spun off, stuff like that. So it's like, and once again, those are kind of like inherently unreliable numbers, but they're the best we got. So unless someone is aware of sources that I'm not. They've been hiring recently. I've seen a couple of things, and mostly for Marathon. I have not seen, you know, 100 job postings. What the hell? Oh, what the hell? No, it's about 550 on Destiny 2, 300 Marathon. No, that is incorrect. That is blatantly incorrect. As the at least as far as once again, the numbers were around when the last layoffs happened. The reported numbers were about 300 to 350 on Destiny, about 100 on Marathon.
You've got some fight in you. Good.
The Destiny as a whole was taken down to less than 700 employees, according to the last round of layoffs. There are people that were talking about it. After the Gummy Bears spin-off, after the next round of attrition. Not attrition, layoffs and stuff like that, so. No, we don't have, once again, as far as I'm aware, it's been a complete black box for the last year and a half. So we have no idea. I mean, and once again, the numbers that I'm throwing out are things that were suggested by people who were let go, supposedly. So it's like, we've never really had great insight into that. I think the Sony acquisition might have had some pretty concrete numbers on that. Other than that, I don't think we've seen anything anytime recently, and I don't think we're going to. Are the acquisition numbers publicly available? I think they were, but I don't remember exactly. I wonder if anyone on LFG is doing. Is there an LFG anymore for this game? I don't know. Um, these guys are replying to someone, but I cannot find who they are replying to. How do I fucking... Oh, Mactix banned me because of my joke name. I'm sure Scare will too. Then you don't know me very well, buddy. I pretty much never ban anyone in my chat. I don't give a fuck if you waste your time or not. I ain't your mom. I'll take her out for a nice date, though. Hook me up, brother. Hey, if you're stuck in the hospital like me, I have all the time in the world. Dude. Bruh. Come on, bro. Oh, God. Is there just a fucking thing where it's like, hey, if anyone wants to run just random bullshit, join up. You don't really even have to do anything. I'm just going to be doing shit I have 3 engrams for. When will Obama address the state of the game? That's good. Good evening, Scarrow. What are you hoping to see in Renegades? Just a question that popped in my head and possibly something you've been asked to death about. I don't fucking know, man. I just want... I just want fun. I just want fun. I want different. I want fun. I want a break. Bungie silence is deafening, though. To me, it just says that they're changing plans. That's all it says to me. I think people are being uber fucking dramatic about stuff. Or maybe jumping to conclusions, right? But who the fuck knows at this point? Nonetheless, I just think things are changing. Like that's all it says to me. I don't know. I've started asking this question over the last week, but it's like I don't know if it's yo Fines. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you for the prime. I just think shit is like they see the current formula is not working, so I think they're retooling it. Like, oh sorry, I'm all over the place today. It was a long day. Sorry. My brain's a little fucking broken. But I would not be surprised if they come out at some point and say, hey, we wanted to do this 2 DLC a year thing, but it's clearly not working. So I don't know what they switch it to. I don't know if they go to 1. I don't know if they try to take it back to episodes instead with no big content drop. I don't know if they scale everything back altogether. Like I have literally no idea, but to me, the lack of a roadmap after reaffirming that they're dropping a roadmap multiple times over the last month says to me that things are changing. Oh my god, I'm so stupid, chat. I invited you guys and then I fucking yeah, sorry about that. I'm dumb. That's all it says to me. And I don't know if this is I don't know. People make a lot of assumptions, like, oh, Sony's telling them to do this, or Bungie's doing it, and it's like, I have no fucking idea. None of you fuckers know either. It's just like, the guy in charge of communication, DMG, who is historically very reliable and on point when it comes to communication. He's a fucking legend at that, and he has been for 8 years or whatever. If he has said multiple times that they're making a roadmap, they're making a roadmap. If it's taking this long And if you think to yourself, hey, why would it take this long when we already know the majority of the dates for the next 3 expansions and everything that kind of happens around them, including mid-season expansions? I think the easy answer there is, oh, well, things are changing, you know? Which things need to change, clearly. So. Yo, Scaro, you got any family vacations planned this week until Friday? I fucking wish. I need one. You don't envy the position Bungie's in? Yeah, it's hard, man. I agree. Like, it's... At the end of the day, right? Like, it's hard. It's so hard. And you see this so often where... Oh, I'm gonna kick the next person. I apologize. You see this so often where it's like... It's likely... Sorry, MC. You know, I think a lot of the... And obviously, this is a very simplified take on this, right? So this is a very obviously complex equation. But, you know, a lot of the reason they're in the problem they are is because they got too ambitious. It happens with every fucking company on planet Earth where it's like endless growth, endless growth, endless growth. You're a $1 billion company. It's a lot harder to get 10, 15% extra growth. Oh my God. At that point versus... being a smaller company, there's a cap. There's only there's a finite audience size. You try to branch into other things, something doesn't go well. It's detrimental. You go from employing 1,400 people to 700 people, and then it's like, okay, well now everyone just looks bad. So you see it a lot. It's not only gaming. It's a lot of tech companies. It's a lot of I've seen it in the chemistry world. You see it all the time. Companies get to a certain size, they get too aggressive, they fail, everyone loses their jobs, they become a bad guy, everyone hates them.
Point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
It's hard, man. The DCV and its consequences. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say the DCV was good for the game. If anything, I do believe that to a point it was a necessary evil for how they chose to develop the game. But acting like Bungie and Destiny weren't a success long after the DCV is really silly. I mean, some of the highest selling DLCs ever were in the last couple of years. Years after the DCV. That's far from the sole issue. And I think, you know, while it is a component, trying to isolate the DCV as the main thing that went wrong with Bungie or Destiny is very naive and very silly. The DCV is a very convenient scapegoat. And once again, I say this all the time with a lot of different things when people are like, oh, the problem's wokeness or the problem's like fucking whatever. It's like the only people that there are a clear set of people that made decisions that have led everything to where they are right now. And by failing to see that and focusing on a very convenient scapegoat like the DCV, you're just kind of letting people get away with murder. And it's just like it's actually really not good to be naive like this. I love wokeness. Shout out woke. Hashtag. Let's go. But you know what I mean? It's like you see it all the time. You see it in politics. You see it in this sort of stuff. Like there are convenient boogeyman, convenient you know, maybe false landmines that people see and they're like, oh, I just want to hate that thing. And then they like miss all the other fucking shit going on. I would say DCV is Bungie's version of that. So, how does it feel, Scaro? Not great, man. Just vibing, really. The roadmap taking this long means they're either cooking or they don't know if there's a road anymore. It's hard to be hopeful, but I want them to make a comeback. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, exactly. I don't even know if I would say like they're cooking. I just think cooking as in things are changing. Like Destiny is a live service game. Things have been changing for a number of years, very rapidly in terms of how content is made internally and given to us. I mean, we're on year 3 of a new cadence, right? So it's like things are constantly changing. Their workforce is constantly changing. Their economic position is constantly changing. Player interest is constantly changing. So it's just like And they're a live service game. They need to be able to adapt. That's part of the thing. So I think that is easily the most likely situation is like things are just changing. Who knows? That might not be good for us. That might be good for us or the game or Bungie or whatever. But you know, you have an active clan. Me and my buddy can join. I don't know, chat. How's my clan doing? We got 2. It's not bad. That's not bad. If there are some previews happening this week, I could see a Fabled roadmap showing up because of whomever went to the event will probably ask about it. Having been to those events before, it's very rare you get to talk about anything you see, or like if there is a preview event, as some of you claim certain creators have suggested, you likely won't see that information for weeks. I mean, for Edge of Fate was considered a very aggressive turnaround, and I think we had a week and a half to edit. That was very aggressive. For Marathon, we had almost a month. Fuck, the first time I saw Marathon, it was like 6 months, and then the second time I saw Marathon, it was yeah, I think it was like a month and a half, something like that. It was a long time. And then Edge of Fate was a very truncated timeline for whatever reason, but you know, because some people may or may not be taking family vacations or whatever, I wouldn't expect something like Thursday. You know what I mean? Like, I would temper expectations. Just not really how it works. I don't get the Destiny 3 take. Do people not realize we won't see the game until at least 2029? Do they need one game to fund production of another game, so work on huge loans? Usually. It's actually, like, if you think about it, studios actually do work on huge loans all the time, especially new studios, right? Like, they get funding, then they have to deliver. That's actually, like, probably how most gaming studios work, on, like, a promise and an idea. I don't have the numbers or statistics on this, but I have to imagine it's much, much, much more rare to have a game company working on a game with other games already made. Just like by kind of definitionally how you work, how you get to the point of being a 2-game studio, you have to be a 1-game studio first. But also, like, I don't know, the more I think about it, and maybe this is just doomer scare, maybe I need a therapist or whatever, I don't fucking know. But the more I think about it, like, for me, part of the appeal of a Destiny 3 is having to wait until 2029. I think this community just needs a fucking break, man. I think we've needed a break. I think if you follow the timeline of Dado, and him needing a break and talking about that, I think that like perfectly mirrors the community needing a break. But I think Dado is just a lot more self-aware than most of us bozos. And I don't think there's a world where Bungie or Destiny does anything but extremely benefits from us being forced to just sit back for 3 or 4 years. I don't know, man. I think franchise fatigue, IP fatigue, company fatigue, whatever you want to say, I think they're very real. And the more I see things like Destiny, The Walking Dead, the MCU, etc., the more I see these things try to go for longer than they really should, continuously, the more I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, maybe a break's good. And then you look at things like Doctor Who, where it's like now they're falling into that same trap, but you know, it was popular for 10, 15, 20 years back in the 80s or whatever. And then they took like a substantial break. They came back, and then it was one of the biggest TV shows on TV again. You know, it's like, I think, especially in today's age where there's just so much fucking content, I think IP fatigue is a very real thing, and I just don't think any of us want to acknowledge it. The Walking Dead. Dude, The Walking Dead was fucking massive, Toast. It was massive, and then it went for fucking 8 seasons too long, and then they made 3 more spin-offs than they should have, and now it's just a fucking mess, dude. But back in its day, season 5, season 6, Walking Dead was fucking unstoppable, dude. That shit set unbelievable records. I gave up around season 5. I mean, I watched it all the way through. I still watch the spin-offs. I hate watch the spin-offs. You know, but it's like, yeah, for me, I think it really peaked season 6. And then, like, season 9 was really good. But other than that, like, it just went too long, man. It's a classic example of things going too long. You need a therapist confirmed? Yeah, I fucking know. I know, dude. I'm so bad at letting things go. I'm really bad. I'm such a creature of habit with everything in life. Like, I find something I enjoy, and I just... On date nights, I always pick the same couple of restaurants, and I rotate them. I always get the same fucking thing. Been doing it for years. You know, I have the same... Like, I don't know, man. I'm a creature of habit. It makes me comfortable. And I think it takes me a lot longer to realize when I'm burnt out than most people. Have you seen Stranger Things? Yeah. I don't get the marathon should fail so Bungie can work on Destiny take either. That's just brain rot, dude. It's just brain rot. Those are mostly people that don't play Destiny or have no functional understanding of how the real world works. It's not... There's no need to look any further into that statement than that. You're just wasting your time trying to... Like, the world is full of very unserious people that are just lashing out because, you know, in one way or another they've been hurt, and like I totally understand with that and I sympathize that, but being loud and incorrect doesn't fix that problem, and trying to rationalize with unserious people doesn't make them any more serious. It's just how it goes, man. It's not helpful to be confidently wrong. Unless you have like a really big YouTube channel. Then it's actually very helpful to your personal finances to be confidently wrong. But other than that, that's the only time. I don't agree too often with Paul, but he gave a good point of Sony giving studios like Naughty Dog long development times and resources without having a new game out. I mean, like, that's a totally different thing, dude. Like, it's just not, you can't even compare those one-to-one, right? Like, single-player games that, how many people work at Naughty? Like, how many... This isn't even, Naughty Dog, I think. I want to know how many people specifically worked on, like... Wait, Naughty Dog's The Last of Us, right? Yeah, I want to know how many people worked on The Last of Us 2. That's what I want to know. I want to know how long it was in development, how many people worked on it. Someone give me those numbers. I thought Paul made a fair point, but it's not been that long that Sony has taken over. Also, Marathon is being worked on and has been delayed, so they're literally allowing them to take longer on it. Oh, yeah, dude, I'm so fucking cooked right now. I didn't even put that together. Yeah, they literally are. That's a really good point as well. Although it does seem like they're kind of like, get that shit out the door next quarter or whatever. But yeah, they literally are giving them that leeway. That's a really good point. And that's a really good point as well, what Samara says. When Naughty Dog ships a game, it's done. Other than bug fixes, maybe some small updates. Bungie has they kind of dug themselves this hole. And this is what the high burn rate of Microsoft meant. When Microsoft was looking at acquiring Bungie. And they decided not to because of the high burn rate. Like, after Destiny is done, they still are burning insane amounts of resources on developers to keep making content for the game, right? And if you look at any of the sale metrics, it seems like you will never, ever recoup anywhere near the amount of people that bought the initial game on a live service game. Like, you know, we were all under the impression for a long time that Lightfall and Witch Queen, like, did incredibly well in sales, and it seems like they did nowhere close to vanilla Destiny 2. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Empress Keitel. We invoke the right of proving.
I mean, it's been a while, but I can tell you what it's like to work for Sony. I worked at Sony Online Entertainment, right around the rooms of Kunark, at least for EverQuest. I have literally no idea what any of those words mean, but I would love insight. Any insight you're allowed to give. Maybe you're getting older, Scarrow. That's why media and gaming is different. No, I mean, that's definitely an aspect of it, right? But I think it's pretty hard to deny that the landscape isn't, or is shifting. Just the rate at which we are getting stuff is fucking absurd nowadays. And like I said, like, I just think it's going to become, it has become, and I think it's going to continue to become less and less likely and less common for these like existing worlds to continue for long periods of time. Like we are just, it's similar to how like TikTok brain, you know what I mean? Like I feel like we are that with video games right now, where it's like games have a pretty defined life cycle nowadays, and it's going to be pretty rare to find games that last more than a couple of years. And obviously there will be exceptions to that rule, but it seems like people, you know, they kind of bounce around a lot more nowadays, it seems like.
Willingly enter my imperial land tank, the Halbus Electus. You honor me. May you meet a glorious death.
That's why I feel like we won't get a proper start to finish campaign. Hey, what do you mean? How is Edge of Fate not a proper start to finish campaign? Or do you mean, are you talking about like another saga? Like you don't think we'll get another Witness conclusion? Shill 9? Tides, what the fuck, bro? Who actually gets paid by Bungie? Oh, man. How you doing, buddy? Yo, Bradley, thank you for the Prime sub.
Some learn from it, while others are ruled by it.
Oh, God.
Which are you? Be reasonable, Guardians. While there is shame in surrender, I am merciful.
Yeah, I can see the 7TV emote, yeah.
We'll see it through to the end. Which of these cabal is your champion?
All warriors rally in defense of the chosen.
I'm really confused with this. I'm just saying that if you think the final shape had good content, then it's unlikely that they just happen to fire the better devs. I don't know what that means. We gotta stop the conductor. Dude, fuck the conductor, actually. Conductor's my new Aramis. Like, I get that DCV is bad as Reddit, but people do care about story, and the story of this game is just a jumbled mess. 20 seasons of plot development now exists only on YouTube clips. Yeah, but I mean, even if it existed in-game, like, dude, there's so many fucking franchises that have been going forever that, like, have story issues. Like, this is not an exclusively... Like, it's literally the same thing with the MCU. And all of that exists, and you can watch it right now. But the #1 complaint with the MCU, and especially the Disney Plus shows, like after, you know, fucking Phase 4, people are like, I'm not watching all that shit. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I am a pretty firm believer that it would make very little difference if the Red War was still in the game or not. Most people that wanted to consume... Did we fucking soft lock this? Hey, yo, Tights. Bro. What the fuck? Huh. Fucking hell. But the thing is, the story is the least worried I have been for years. Yeah, I think what you're trying to say, Fatebringer, and I agree. Like, I think there were a lot of things that didn't go well with Edge of Fate, but I think the story is far from one of them. Like, I think the story was easily top one best thing about Edge of Fate, actually. Destiny 2, the Softlock Saga, yeah. I always thought it was like, you remember back in the day, where it was like the plunder, right? You could complete an activity and it took a while to register, and sometimes it wouldn't even register, and so you just ran the entire activity and you got the loot, but it just didn't count. I thought that was the most frustrating thing, but at least we could play the activity. Holy shit. Have you started bounty prepping? No, I'm not fucking bounty prepping, dog. Are you serious right now? Are we fucking serious right now? I just want them to cook on Marathon and get that game out the door so maybe they can devote more resources to Destiny 2. I have always maintained, and I will continue to maintain, that at this point, and for the last couple of years where we have been, is the best thing for Destiny 2 is Marathon doing very well. I will continue to reiterate that. I think it is I mean, it's obviously not a direct comparison, but it's very analogous to my field of work, where you have one project pop off and that funds another future research and development project. Companies, as you grow, it is unsustainable to only have one main product. You need to have multiple products that feed into each other and fund future development of future products. And so, if you know, it's different now, but if a year ago or 2 years ago when Marathon was announced, the idea was to continue growing Bungie as large as possible, which it was, because they wanted 3 IPs, as they had said many times. Then the core idea has always been do well, feed back in, and it's an endless cycle between all of your different projects. And once again, feeding future things as well. Scaro 9 saved Destiny 2. What the fuck am I gonna do about it? What the hell? Just one more IP, bro? No, 2 IPs. Like, all I know is that my company, if my CEO was like, we want to have 2 more major successes launched in the next 5 years. Same statement that Bungie made. And then 3 years later, they walk that back and they're like, actually, we're just going to have 1 more major product. My CEO would be gone. That is you made a huge promise worth hundreds of millions of dollars to the stakeholders, to the shareholders, and you failed to deliver on that. And now you are changing your forecast and your plans. That results in less shareholder value, less future forecast of, if your company does dividends or whatever. And it's just, that is a huge, you guys have to realize you cannot make the promise that you're going from a 1 IP to a 3 IP studio if you are not extremely sure and set on making the promise that you are going to have essentially 3 times the profits that you have now, or 3 times the audience, or 3 times the growth. It's not exactly 1-to-1, maybe not a 3x, but that's exactly what the stakeholders are going to hear. And so, like, everyone who was always like, oh, they wanted to get rid of Destiny and make Marathon their main game all along, then they would not have ever said they wanted to be a 3 IP studio. You cannot make promises like that. It's like almost quite literally illegal to make promises like that if you have no intention of delivering on them. Actually get a $100 million payout like a boss? Yeah, well, that's how shit works too. What do I do for 4 weeks until launch? Play Borderlands. Yo! That's fucking toxic. I should have bought my fucking. Just learned Chris Proctor moving my country? Dude, I never got to meet Chris Proctor, and I really wish I did. He seemed like a genuinely amazing human being. He was. I love listening to people. Oh no, I don't have my dive. I love listening to people who are really passionate about what they do. Do you think Bungie was overzealous by trying to make 2 new games instead of focusing on Destiny and 1 new game? Yeah, for sure. And I think look, man, I'm like, it's not a popular opinion, but I think at some point it is almost like, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, you literally they're not allowed to do this because they're publicly, well, they weren't, but you can't, if you're a publicly traded company, you can't do this. But I think at some point, it should just be socially acceptable to go, you know what, we employ 1,200 people. That's fucking good enough. You know what I mean? We make a lot of money. That's good enough. We're just gonna try to maintain. You can't really do that. So, Arc Raiders could say marathon. Unironically, yes. It actually could. If people get, yeah, I mean, yeah, if people learn that they actually like this genre, but they, you know, they're looking for a slightly different experience, or they're looking for, you know, altered versions of that experience or whatever, it absolutely could, yeah. I just realized we made it past the door. I with portal activities, I blank the fuck out, dude. This is a Destiny 2 might as well be a fucking fidget spinner for me right now. I'm not paying attention to it at all. Like, I'm chatting with you guys, and my monkey brain is playing Destiny 2. I'm not even paying attention. I played both Marathon and Arc Raiders. You mean the alpha, the open NDA alpha, I'm sure. Yet I vibe better with Marathon. Yeah, I don't think that's a surprise. Like, I don't think it's at all surprising to say, hey, I played two games that have a very clear identity and direction, and I happen to like the one with first-person gunplay better. Like, that doesn't, I don't think that's going to ever be a hot take, right? Like, I would expect that conversation to go nearly down the middle. I think some people would be like, I prefer the third-person nature or the aesthetic of Arc Raiders, or vice versa for the open NDA alpha of Marathon. So, like, I don't think, like, I think I've seen a lot of people act like that's a hot take, and maybe it feels like it's a hot take due to the current state of the internet, but they're two very stylistic games in very different styles, and it's not surprising that one of them connects with people differently. Marathon would do themselves a favor to add solo queue. According to the last developer update that we got, or what was it? A breakdown of something. Maybe it was Bungie's description of the last playtest or something, but according to the last, like, official things that they put out about Marathon, they were working on adding that. That was straight from the description of some build or something from Marathon. Because I remember very vividly quote tweeting it, and I made a video on it. I made a video on it. I remember this because they talked about prox chat, they talked about solos, for sure.
Hold strong, Guardians. One final victory is all I ask.
Now, the final trial. Battle against the champion of the Cabal.
I feel like if Marathon could learn something from Arc Raiders launching is the idea of incentivizing people meeting and cooperating to combat PvE encounters. That's one of the things that's why, like, I've talked about this before too, but we were so adamant when we were in those feedback sessions. Like, you guys need prox chat, and they for whatever reason didn't seem to see it that way. But once again, in that same update we were just talking about, they mentioned prox chat, that they were working on prox chat. So Seems like might have been heard there too, which is good. That's a good thing. We should definitely encourage learning from shortcomings, or you know, encourage things heading in the correct direction. Destiny 2 needs pings before proc chat, dude. Fucking, that was like the first time I played Marathon. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me! It has a ping system. I think I turned to someone next to me and said that. I think I like very verbally said that. Like, yo, so what's this ping system coming to Destiny though?
As soon as I debrief the strike team, Empress, I hope the blood spilled here today will be the last.
It's crazy how fast you fucking gain power levels in the portal now, dude. Yeah, ping system, I would normally agree with you, but actually, like, for all of Destiny's faults over the past year, I will say it is genuinely impressive how they keep going back and reworking core systems or parts of the game that probably don't need to be reworked, or like maybe not don't need to be reworked, but like no one would blink an eye if they weren't reworked. Like, honestly, in the Tyson Green era of Destiny, a ping system feels exactly like the type of thing they would actually add to the game, in my opinion. If the TWAB came out tomorrow and said they were adding it, I would be excited, but I would not be surprised. They've been going back and they've been working on a lot of quality of life stuff like that. Especially since, like, obviously I have no way of knowing like what a crossover, but like if something is developed for Marathon, I'm not naive enough to think that it's like a point and click into Destiny 2, but I have to imagine it's probably easier to develop if it's already been done for that game. Like, at least they have like a direction artistically or something. I don't know. I have to imagine in some way it's easier if it's been done in a similar environment. So, oh shit, Hammy dropping some free emblem codes over in YouTube chat. Let's go. They also had an article tied to the open application option to confirm proc chat and solo queue. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Fatebringer. I will say, based on the non-NDA test, it's kind of messed up that Destiny 2 doesn't have a ping notification system and numeric values for stats. That's another thing. In Marathon, they were, during the alpha, like, very open about percentages and stuff, which is awesome. They're really pushing all their chips into Renegades. I do not get that vibe at all. Yo, what's up, Torch? Thanks for the sub. Are we good? I don't know, man. We'll see. I do not get the vibe they are pushing all their chips into Renegades. I feel like we would be getting a lot more marketing if that were the case. I think the main difference is that Marathon runs server side while Destiny's client side, so it means a lot of difference on how it works. I'm gonna take your word for that because I have no fucking idea. Look, man, I'm like as ignorant as it comes when it comes to fucking server architecture and shit. Like, I have no idea. So
Guardian,
sure.
we received limited intel regarding
Care you don't happen to have a family trip this week? Why the fuck do people keep asking me this, dude? How come every time fucking... No, I don't, but how come every fucking time Cross says something, it makes my life more difficult, bro? That guy has made me answer more fucking has been the reason I have answered more questions over the last 3 years than like literally any other source of anything. Did he? Fucking Cross. Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. Fallout has a trip too? It's fine, the real ones know you don't have any PTO yet. Left? 2 days. I have 2 days. It's rough out here. how not to break NDA by basically breaking it, dude. Fucking Cross plays it fast and loose, man. He was doing this. I was so impressed. Maybe impressed is the wrong word. I was more impressed of like, man, this guy has some fucking testicular fortitude. When he would do all those fucking marathon videos, I knew he had played it. Cause like, I talked to people that saw him there. So I knew he played it like 2 years like prior. And he kept talking about it. But I was like, holy fuck, dude, like, dog, after I played Marathon, you know what I mean? It's like, no fucking way am I risking. This guy's just saying whatever the fuck he wants. It's crazy, dude. It's like, oh my god, dude. Yeah, his testicles, they're bigger than mine. For fucking sure, dude. No way.
However, removing him can only strengthen our position.
The only reason though, like,
Put him down.
Like, they always tell us not to tell people we're going for security reasons. Like, they don't actually care, I don't think. Like, so, for instance, when CB and I were there for the marathon thing, and then the Destiny ARG happened? No, it was the marathon ARG thing happened too. And then they approved us to stream in the hotel room together, the marathon ARG. Like, we asked. And, like, they know people are gonna know. They have to know. We were literally wearing marathon shirts, right? Like, they know people are gonna put that shit together. People already had a pretty good idea. It's just like, they just don't want us to, like, have to deal with people waiting at Bungie for us. You know what I mean?
One does have to admire Kargan's command.
Like, they're just doing a better job at security than, like, Twitch does at TwitchCon. You know?
Can give Kate a lesson or two.
I mean, Milo also didn't help it. Wait, what did Milo say? Oh, during the marathon ARG? Where he accused us of being part of the fucking ARG?
But you're gonna need one more.
Marathon ARG was peak, dude, it was. Those were... It's crazy the highs and the lows that we've had this year. It's actually fucking absurd. The amount of dopamine that has entered my system and then promptly been fucking shot out my ass, bro. It's insane. Oh my god, bro.
Guardian down.
ARG was cooler than the game. Dude, I keep fucking telling you guys, in the stuff that I am allowed to talk about, there are aspects of the ARG in the game, or there were at the time. It is no coincidence that they have now chosen to do 2 separate ARG, kind of like 2.5 separate ARGs. That is part of the identity that they were at least trying to build for the game. I don't know if it's gonna keep happening, but it's just like early Destiny had more ARGs and had more in-game puzzles. It's just like how early Call of Duty Zombies had way more ARGs and way more in-game puzzles. There's a fucking reason they chose that as the marketing slant for fucking Marathon. All you fuckers are just impatient! Wait, they knew about the Marathon ARG ahead of the ARG? I landed. When I was flown out to Bungie the second time for Marathon, I landed and I turned my phone back on, and the first thing I see is a message from our partner managers at Bungie, and it says, "Oh, by the way, just so you know, an ARG is happening today." It was about an hour or two before it dropped. And here I am on the runway in Seattle, looking at my phone. The guy who solved the first Marathon ARG invited up to Bungie to play Marathon. Well, they start the next ARG without me. That was easily the most bruh moment I've ever had in my entire life. Then they should show that. It's like, what? Now they should show that? I disagree that they should show that. If you knew that Ascension or Dres had an Easter egg, it would never have hit so hard. If they fucking announced, as we have seen with every fucking exotic mission since, if they announced the Whisper mission, it would not have hit as hard. I fully support them originally trying to keep everything as secretive as possible. Okay? It is a very entitled thing to be like, oh, I need to know their secrets in the game. It's also not very secretive. But now they've started to kind of hint towards some of that stuff. Like they started to before they went dark on Marathon. They're like, oh yeah, and there's also like secretive stuff in the world. Like, fuck me. Exactly, player discovery makes everything more dope. Yeah. Case in point, the extra encounter in the epic raid. Secret until the end and it was like, yes, dude, Freek, yes, pop off. Exactly. Dude, the fact, how fucking chef's kiss is it that the extra encounter has the same boss? So in the API, everyone data mined that shit, that the encounter was there, but they all thought it was the same encounter. Everyone, including myself, got baited, dude. There were multiple times leading up to the epic raid where I was like, I don't know, man, it would have been data mined if it was anything cool. I'm not expecting much. And then it fucking hit me like a fucking truck, dude.
What intel did you discover?
That was actually a masterclass. It sucks that only like 300 people got to experience that, but that was a goddamn masterclass from Bungie. And the payoff was awesome. It just sucks that it happened this year, of all years, but it was fucking awesome.
Those are questions
I remember you saying it was going to be cleared in 3 hours. Yeah, I did say so. Chili's in, he's in the Completionist Boys chats. And yeah, I literally told all of them, I was like, this is going to take a couple hours. That's why, like, when it was announced to be the same day as Chemo's wedding, I wasn't even worried about it. I was like, oh, we'll have this shit done. I'm not worried about this at all. God, was I wrong. And what a fucking masterclass, dude. That's the shit that hits. That's what made Chestney so great. Logging on, doing some random shit, just get rewarded with the chest piece. Yeah, dude. But during their marketing, K-Phil, they didn't know that was going to be... Like, keep in mind, they didn't know their reveal was not going to hit. In hindsight, it's very easy to say, I look at the structure of the reveal, of course it wasn't going to hit. But they're coming off of the high of the ARG. Like, there is a world where that goes a lot better, and people aren't asking any questions about secrets at all. Oh shit. Where did my friends go? My friends left me. It's just easy. Yeah, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, okay, maybe they should have teased some stuff, but, you know. No, I agree completely, but it's been 6 months since that was a miss. Yeah, and I'm sure they're fucking cooking. Whatever their next marketing beat is, I'm sure we'll have some pretty heavy-handed stuff. That's how I would do it. I mean, if people have been shown to be so impatient, that's how I would do it. And then they did a similar reveal for Edge of Fate. Yeah, I think for whatever reason they started to take a very different direction with marketing. We've talked about this. I mean, look, they know my opinions on it. They literally called me out in the live stream when they were like, "Here's the Vidoc." You know what I mean? Like, I like to think I've been the #1 proponent of better marketing and ad campaigns, and I hope it's paying off. Like, I don't fucking know. It might be too little too late, but Imagine we get a small in-game puzzle that leads us to some sort of Renegades marketing. That's kind of what they did with Destiny. I would love another Destiny, but I feel like, you know, we're a month out.
Guardian, my forces report that Shadow
I kind of feel
units
like
are
we would have
shifting
gotten
their attention
like
to the cloud
Renegades
armor.
version of
That's likely
Destiny
why
by
Neo
now.
and his
Like
defense systems are
I just kind of
resupplying.
don't think anything's
But I
going to
bet those
happen.
Vexpunks are also poking too close to the city's internals.
But also, like, there's a genuine concern. Like really, there's a really big concern where, let's say they do something like Destiny, where it's a huge puzzle and it takes community participation. Well, what if their audience isn't big enough? You know how embarrassing that would be for them if they cooked up some immaculate puzzle and the interest in population just aren't there? Did you hear Sweatskool mentioning about knowing someone who played Renegades and said it wasn't great? Yeah, look, man, I don't fucking know. I also, you know, I consider Sweat a friend. That sort of stuff actually, like, really kind of scares me. Because I'm not the type of person that would, like, confide that sort of information to a friend like that. But, like, Bungie knows who Sweat's fucking friend group is. They know who he would talk to. So it's like, why would you say that? That's a concern of mine. I don't know. I would fucking catch me dead saying shit like that, dude. I don't know. That's one thing. That's honestly the thing that bothers me most about that situation. Like,
Is that
they know who he lives with. They know who he's friends with. It's not like the Destiny content creation circles are a secret. Everyone knows who each other's friends are.
Which means they could infiltrate the
So,
network
I don't know, man.
and gain
But, look, I don't fucking know. I don't know if Renegades is going to be good. I'm not about to base my fucking hype off of, like, you know, some secondhand information from Sweat, whom I really like Sweat, don't get me wrong, but he tends to be more negative than positive about Destiny, which is fine. Like, people have their own, like, I'm definitely more positive. Just like people should probably not ever take my word of, like, oh, I had a friend who played it and he said it was fucking awesome. Like, it's kind of the same thing. But it's just like, I don't know, man. We're a month away. Fucking, I guess some people are taking family trips up there next week. So maybe it's closer than we think. But, like, the one thing that we actually have seen for it seemed actually really fucking cool. So that's where my vibe is currently. But we'll just have to wait and see. You know what I mean? I think the Call to Arms event is meant to be a community rally before Renegades. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too. Under, over on Darth Drifter and Renegades. I think under. I'm taking whatever under there is, because he's the Han Solo analog. I think we'll have a Sith. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there ends up being a twist. Someone had this, someone had a really good theory in chat the other day. So, you know, Drifter used to be a Dredgen. We know this is a Dredgen kind of based season. Also, they said that Drifter's past would come back to haunt him. So what if one of the people that Drifter went to that ice planet with, he thought all of his friends died? What if one of them didn't actually die? And now they're like the Destiny Sith Lord or whatever. You know what I mean? That could be pretty fucking cool. If that comes to fruition, that would be really cool, actually. No, I'm just talking about community sentiment in general. Yeah, also, I was out of titles. I don't know, it's hard during days like this with Destinies. And I don't really like saying, like, oh, I don't like clickbaiting population numbers unless I'm making fun of someone. So I just kind of like, I don't know, the vibe, it does just kind of feel different. That's sort of how I'm feeling right now. So that's just kind of what I decided to put. Aramis is the Sith Lord. You're going to love it. Dude, I'll uninstall on the spot. The Web has a family trip starting tomorrow. Dude, these fucking creators are killing me, dude. What the hell? Jesus Christ. I mean, we saw Spider in the game. I'm pretty sure Spider's supposed to be Jabba the Hutt, no? I saw someone say sabers in chat about lightsabers, but I thought they were talking about the Buffalo Sabres, my favorite hockey team, and I got like really locked in for a second. Yeah, man, I don't fucking know. I hope it's good. I'm not about to like. I don't know. I think it deserves a fair squeeze. I want it to be good. I think there are a lot of people who don't want it to be good for whatever reason, but I'm just like, you know, I'm just kind of killing time until I die. And I prefer to spend that time hoping for good things. Dad said earlier in your stream that he wouldn't be taking any trips to the airport. Wait, but he fucking lives there, dude. What? This fucking guy, dude. What the hell? Are we prepared for the possibility that no matter how good Renegades might be, it won't matter? Yeah. Right now, the best thing they could do is give us a way to engage with the patrol zones to get portal loot. I don't think that's the best thing they could do. I think that's part of a good thing they could do. But I'm going to be real, for 99.9% of the community, I don't think them adding patrol loot makes literally any difference to the amount of game they play.
This is the access point. Let's get rid of that taken before it opens a path into the Cloud Arc.
Like, I just, I don't know, man. Yeah, Cross is saying he's going on a family vacation literally a week after he had his son. Like, we all don't know what he's doing. Dude, I just know if Victoria had a baby a week ago and I was like, all right, I'm off to Bungie, she would fucking murder me in my sleep, dude. Ain't no way I would be going fucking anywhere, let alone out of state. She would murder me. I'm just trying to imagine her reaction, dude. She gets mad when plans change, dog, and she has never been pregnant. Dude, she would fucking kill me. Oh my god. That's actually so fucking funny. As a dad, I'd be dead if that happened. Yeah, dog. Dude, it's crazy. It's like, even in like most workplaces in America, they're like, all right, you get, okay, let's say professional work environments. They're like, all right, you get 2 to 4 weeks off. Cross is like, nah. we're taking a family trip, bro. God damn. Oh man, come on. Yeah, there we go. $540. Damn, I've gone up 6 light today. We're almost there. What's the power cap on Avalon? Is it all the way up at 550? I'm lucky my job in the state combined to give me 12 weeks and my wife 5 months. Oh my fucking Christ. I don't think I get 5 months of PTO in my entire life. That's crazy. In a good way. Like, that's not me saying, like, I'm glad you guys get that. I wish that was more fucking the norm, dude. That's, tell you what, you'd be a lot more incentivized to have kids if you didn't feel like you were the most fucking stress-inducing period of your entire fucking life. That's crazy. You gotta be 535 to access. Max benefit is 550. Okay. Ultimate does not feel challenging enough to warrant giving us tier 5 loot right now. Look, man, especially in the state that the game is in, I would way rather it be way like over rewarding than not rewarding enough. No matter how good any new expansion is, the new player experience needs to be better than Shahan's miserable Cosmos Room adventure. I agree, but they've already said that I think they said, did Tyson, I'm pretty sure in my interview with Tyson, he said that the focus is getting the core game experience good now, and then the new player experience was one of the focuses of next year. I mean, there's no point in them trying to make a better new player experience if the core experience just fucking sucks, because then you'll do a really good job onboarding people to quitting the game. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the who knows what their timeline even fucking looks like with Renegades. I have no idea, but how are you feeling today, Dr. Scare? I'm feeling alright. Tired. I had a fucking long day. I had a towards the end of my day, I realized one of my longer projects has had a mistake in it due to a lot of hands touching it, and it's a fire I need to put out. Kind of stressing about it, but I think I should be able to fix the problem in a week, which is good. So I think I'm good. I was really, before the stream though, I was sending a lot of messages. I was kind of freaking out. I needed to make sure that what I thought was fucked up, and then I needed to figure out how I was gonna fix it. And I think we're good. I think we're okay. I definitely had like, oh fuck, no way this happened moment, and then several moments of, oh fuck, I think this happened. But we're good. So my brain's a little fried because I went into very rapid problem solving mode, but months of work down the toilet, not months, I'd say a few weeks, but essentially it came down to someone gave me a grade of polymer and I was under the impression it was something that it's not. So I was like, oh god. So, but I'll be okay. Everything will be fine. There's learning experiences. Luckily, the timeline's not too tight on this. We're gonna get an Easter egg hunt stream on Ashes of the Damned. Yeah, I saw it launches on a Friday, right? Like next Friday. I'll fucking do it. Fuck 'em. I'll see if G and Llama and Toy, do you want to go again? On the subject of tier 5 loot, I'm interested in your thoughts on a hot take I might have, Scarrow. In a perfect world where sentiment was better in the game swapping off, I'd argue that tier 5 loot should come from Pinnacle and game sources as a bonus, and tier 4 should be the chase. Yeah, I don't mind that. I know based off of early conversations and my inferences from those conversations that they wanted the main. Okay, let me rephrase this. This was never directly said to me, But based off of concerns that I raised at summits and the response that I got, and then seeing how they address those points of feedback, it's very clear to me that they just wanted the light grind to be the main grind, and they needed something that actually felt like the end game in a way that light doesn't. And it seems like that's the main reason the tier system exists. As I've said many times, like, the light grind used to be much worse than it even launched as, until I don't want to pretend like or claim I was the only creator that pointed this out, but I was, in my opinion, the most vocal about it. And I was essentially like, because I hate light leveling, I was essentially like, no one's gonna like this, and you know. So, in a world where they had enough resources to make enough content to where light leveling didn't need to be the main grind, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. But I think if Bungie just made tier 5 loot drop from harder difficulty, it wouldn't fulfill the time obligation that they were hoping to get away with asking players to commit to. So, I mean, it's clear, right? Like, they've been pretty open over some of the past couple of years that, like, Eververse projections have been missing. And we know from an internal report, or I think like a statement from somewhere, that, it was because they saw less player retention over the course of a year, which led to reduced Eververse transactions. And so it's pretty clear to me, at least, that the whole point of the portal, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think the portal also solves a bunch of other issues as well, but I think this is one they were really hoping for, was that it's like, hey, we're not gonna be able to make as much content, but we want people to play more of the game. How do we leverage old content that we've already made? And then combine that with the light grind to keep people interacting longer with less new content. And it's like, that almost makes it sound like nefarious, but I think it's at a point they're kind of doing what they have to do, at least on the lower dev front, like not the C-suite, not the management. And it's like, it makes sense. I mean, there's so much content in Destiny that is almost never used, but I think the way that it went about felt very bad. They went about it felt very bad. Streamer, guess what? Chicken butt. Got him. But I agree. In the heyday of Destiny, I totally agree. I think for a while, especially over the course, like since Witch Queen, like, this is something that I think is one of the rare instances where I agree with, this is a very, weird time where I agree with a lot of content creators I don't normally agree with, and also disagree with most of the community, where I think Witch Queen really hurt the longevity of the game in a lot of big ways. And I think that's really where they started veering away from incentivizing doing more difficult content, especially over a longer period of time, and like actually incentivizing that in a way that encourages people to play more of the game and get better. And I think, but instead of like how crafting was implemented, if you implement something like you're talking about there to kind of offset it, in addition to crafting perhaps, then I think it could have worked really well and been kind of the best of both worlds. But there's a lot of conversations to be had within those couple of sentences. So why Witch Queen specifically? A lot of the mentalities that started shifting around Witch Queen. And specifically, I mean, I think crafting's a big one, but it's not the only one. Like, I think like how they started releasing and structuring content around Witch Queen, how they started moving away from, a lot of hardcore content and secret-ish content. Like, I feel like Witch Queen is where that OG Whisper mentality, like if you watch the dev streams for Whisper, like during Into the Light, where there's like, yeah, it's okay to make hard content and push our players. I think Witch Queen was the turning point of that mentality, or at least it really manifesting in the game. And I think there were a lot of ways in Witch Queen where, for not to sound elitist, but the game started kind of, it was kind of like the, instead of the gentrification, it was the casualification of Destiny a little bit. And I think, I don't think, not to say that there shouldn't be rewards, and I think crafting is a really important tool in some aspects, but I think they went too far. And I think that kind of led to a lot of mentality shifts in the community. And I think they realized it too late, which is a lot of the reasons that we're in the situations we are now. Crafting should have been a catch-up mechanic, not the main grind. Yeah, I think crafting is really valuable as a way to sort of do what the portal is doing, right? Like the whole point of the portal is to try to revitalize old content, so you spend time there to kind of supplement new content where they can't always keep up with stuff, right? And I think they've used crafting in that way, especially with the raids, where they're like, here's an old raid to go grind, new perks, and I think that's a really, really, really good way of using crafting. And I think like towards the end of the year, I think it would have been really cool. Like even now, if you want to introduce crafting for some of the Heresy and Revenant guns, I think that would be pretty cool in certain ways. Like I just don't think crafting should ever give you the best of the best, and I don't think the hardest content should immediately have crafting in it. So and once again, I think there's a lot of ways Witch Queen kind of went about things that I don't agree with in Witch Queen, but I think that was definitely one of the bigger ones for me. Everyone could craft a god roll. There is no god roll. Yeah. Destiny seems unsustainable in the end, right? If Forsaken wasn't profitable enough, then it never will be. Yeah, I think that's... But Bungie, like, kind of making it seem sustainable is why Sony invested so much, right? Because if you can make a sustainable live service game, not only sustainable, but one that's, like, seeing, you know, constant growth, then that is an infinite money-making machine. Why was our score so bad? But yeah, it's, you know, it's that's a touchy subject, because I never want it to seem like I think you shouldn't be like rewarded for your time or whatever, because I think there is an important balance to strike there, but it's a hard balance to strike. Dude, I have so many fucking free things to run here. Why? I don't like how sometimes gotta farm ads forever in the boss phase. That's really annoying. If it tells me I'm gonna hit an A, I should just fucking hit an A, bro. Imagine how much worse Weightgate would have been without crafting. That is true. That, I mean, like, I don't know if the justification for a system should ever be, well, think about how much worse this broken thing, this part of the game that didn't work correctly. Think about how much worse it would have been if this crutch mechanic didn't exist. But, you know, if that's what you got going for you, that's cool. Without crafting, Weightgate would have been discovered years ago. That's an interesting way to look at that as well. Yeah, Dan, that's a pretty good joke. Ugh. Dude, these battlegrounds are just so pretty, dude. Yo, thank you for the sub, Zella. Appreciate you. I don't actually hate the idea of some perks being rare. It's a very Destiny Rising approach. As long as it's transparent and it's done in a not annoying way. The worst part about Weightgate, though, wasn't that the perks, some perks were rare. It was specific perk combinations, right? And it was actually, it's really frustrating because if you think back, like when Weightgate first started being investigated into, there were actually some really like low-key toxic posts by certain Bungie devs, or like, especially I remember Bungie did the testing where they're like, we looked and all the perks are dropping equally, and that's just not even what the claim about Weightgate was, and it just felt very dismissive. And then I specifically remember like 3 or 4 Bungie devs like quote tweeting that, being like, Destiny people will complain about anything or whatever, and it felt very dismissive when we had already put the time in to explain what we thought the problem was, and the testing didn't address that. And they were, not only did the testing not address it, but then they were also being like I said, like kind of toxic about it. That really sucked. That was like definitely not a bright point, I would say. But you know, shit happens. You grow. You didn't know about that? I just remember because I went back. This was kind of my toxic moment. I didn't say anything, but after it was confirmed that we were right, I went back and I retweeted some of theirs. I just retweeted them. I didn't like actually say anything, but I was just like, oh, huh, this is awfully rude, and then just retweeted it like, oh, huh. Not my proudest moment, I would say, but. You know, it felt really, I think, if I remember correctly, like one of them, I don't know if someone responded directly to me, but one of them definitely felt like a subtweet. I was just like, man, this feels real bad. I don't know. And it was really nerve-wracking too, because I remember, like, I talked about this actually just a few streams ago. It's funny how it keeps coming up, but before I made the video, so I was like one of, if not like the first, like really like bigger platform content creator to try to draw community attention to it. And I deliberated for like a week because I didn't know whether I believed it or not. And specifically me and Wabi, we went back and forth like quite a bit, where I was like, nah, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And then I'd look at some examples, I'd run some numbers, and it's like, oh, well, maybe. And I'm like, nah, it's not making, there's no way they got this wrong. And so by the time I actually like went out on a limb and made the video and pointed out very specific examples, like I had already fretted over it a ton. I had taken the time to make some very good examples and showcase this, and then to be further dismissed. And I was already worried about, I'm a scientist, and so like if I'm gonna make a video claiming something like this, I better do my due diligence, and I better know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then so it was like I was very nervous already, and then to have it like kind of dismissed like that initially, that felt bad. That felt very bad. And then so it was very gratifying when it turned out to be right. Admittedly, something you never want to be right about, but it felt like, oh yeah, okay, I am a good scientist. Yo, crossword. Thank you for the prime. You guys hate on Dado for being elitist. Oh, I love Dado. Dado's my homie. All we want is for people to stop explaining the game and stuff, but you guys make it sound like the only thing... Oh, okay. You're ranting about not me. What the fuck are you meowing at, cat? There's a difference between saying, I'm pretty sure something is wrong and I have proof, versus the devs are lying to you. Yeah, that's true. And, you know, I do try to always have stuff with nuance, right? But it's also hard because, like, the Destiny community, especially at its peak, is so massive. Like, you never know what people have and haven't seen. And it's like, you never know who's in a conversation or who will see something. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, I've definitely had a number of times where I've tweeted something and then I see someone like it or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, fuck, maybe I should be more careful. like, who the fuck knows who's seeing my stuff? So it's like, yeah. So that's a lesson I've learned over the years. I try. Today, it's insane. Today marks 26 years since Sleepy Hollow, one of my favorite scary movies. Really, that is pretty nuts. Oh shit. Please devour. Thank you. What the fuck is even happening in chat right now?
Time to get going, Captain.
What if Dado pretends to like exploits for the clicks? You ever think about that? Like, we all think we know that Dado never cheeses Riven, but what if Dado actually secretly loves cheesing Riven? Have you ever asked yourself that? Will Destiny 2 live? Fuck if I know. Scaro, may I have your permission to open up Pandora's box on a specific game mechanic? Fucking send it. Let's go. Why not? Only one more sub till you hit your goal. Do you give subs count? They do. What's my goal? I think this is like a natural Twitch thing, but... I heard Destiny Rising is already shutting down. I think you got baited, dude. I think you clicked on the wrong Lucky 10p video, brother. Maybe it is, though. I don't fucking know. I haven't been on Twitter for a couple hours.
The radiolaria moves through here. Take control, Guardian.
Yo, thank you for the gifted sub, Zella. Appreciate you. The health stat. My hot take is that the health stat is not useless. People just like min-maxing and therefore give out misinformation. Okay, so this is actually really interesting that you bring this up. I think the health stat is beyond useless in PvE specifically, but in PvP it is like top stat. It's so the health stat and the weapon stat are very inverse in my opinion. I don't really care about weapon stat in PvP. I care about health stat in PvE. You want 160-ish in PvP, but almost the complete vice versa in PvE. It's the reason I don't care about the health stat is there are 758 ways to get your health back already, and I find health regen way more impactful than overall health amount anyways. So it's just like, instead of wasting my stats on health, I'm just gonna spec into grenades or something that allows me to get health back more consistently, and also increases things like damage output, or you know, you can have some sort of cyclical ability build where you can not only get your health back constantly and be unkillable. Usually most builds, like, there's a lot of builds that not only give you health back, but also damage resistance as well. And so I find it much better to play into your ability game, because then you're more lethal as well. And so there's infinitely more possibilities with like crowd control, better damage output, damage resistance, and healing from your abilities versus a singular stat only focused on health, especially when you can still always use a recuperation mod. So that's kind of my stance on that. This is why it's a hot take. I think health is useful in both. I will agree that for 90% of the builds, you don't need to invest in health. However, if you don't have a high enough health stat, you will get one shot in places you wouldn't expect to. I also play at like 90 frames, so I get one shot in places you wouldn't expect anyways. So it's just kind of a reality of Destiny at this point. Now, if I'm a console player, maybe I spec into the health stat. I'll give you that. Maybe it's Gambit that's the problem. That's so real. Arc Raiders is the best version of Gambit. Gambit's better just because it's not third person. I'll die on that hill. And also, for as awful and unoptimized as Gambit is, at least it's not built in Unreal Engine, bro. That's all I know. Now, the Renegades activity, that'll be the best version of Gambit, for sure. Yo, Thrower Guy, how you doing? Just like community sentiment in general, Commander. It's also hard, Rage Spy, because since they've introduced the new stats, the artifact has just made like 18 busted builds, and by far the best DPS method is just a ton of weapon stat, a ton of super stat, right? So it's just like, you know, right now it's just kind of all of the outliers in the game are all heavily away from the health stat. So maybe in a more balanced sandbox, I'd agree with you, but it's yeah, it's just the game's been in a weird balance. Like the super meta has just completely dominated, and nothing's really been done about it. It's very weird. Do you think Red Rumble is Bungie's test for a promised total Gambit rework they mentioned in Pre-Edge of Fate? I fucking hope not. Like, look, man, I want Gambit to change as much to the next person, but one tanky ass thing in the middle of a PvP match is not that good. I ignore that enemy every time I play that game mode.
Beneath the ruins of the Cosmodrome, in the shadow of an old colony ship, we've located the House of Devil's Lair and the High Servitor, feeding them their strength. We must destroy this machine god and send their souls.
I'm getting a treatment plan for my braces on Friday. Will you pay for them with your Bungie money? What the fuck? I heard Cross is offering that. I'm sending you the bill. The reason it feels different this time is because we haven't had something to replace the bad taste Edge of Fate left in people's mouths. The other times were this bad this season's episodes to cover it up. I don't know if it... this is a hard conversation to have. I don't know if Edge of Fate... Like, I feel like... Well... I don't know. What would old Scarrow say? I'm trying to think, like, is Edge of Fate responsible for the bad changes? Normally I would say no, but also at the same time I give Lightfall credit for loadouts, and I give Final Shape credit for all the quality of life stuff it brought. So like, yeah, actually, sure. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you know, the live portion of the game, I guess, is intertwined, so I'll give you that. Yeah, you know, it's kind of crazy. I've been saying I'll make channel redeems for Triumph Score for like 8 months. Sorry about that. I do think in a lot of ways people are being dramatic, even the criticisms are valid. But also when there are so many games doing so well right now, it's like you have to be a lot more on the ball. Like back when Curse of Osiris wasn't doing well, back when Lightfall wasn't doing well, there was a lot fewer mega games on the market. These last 2 years have been nonstop fucking bangers of just like game of the year after game of the year after game of the year after game of the year. And I just think the gaming environment is a lot different nowadays. Like, what the fuck was the next best game when Curse of Osiris was at? Like, fucking Pac-Man or some shit? Tetris? There's a different world back then. You know? Now we have fucking masterpieces like Blueprints, Expedition 67 releasing, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a different world. So they got to be more on the ball. Didn't a Hollow Knight come out in 2017? Yeah, sure, but like, come on. I also think, like, once again, I think it's tied, like, the fact that we haven't had a state of the game and the fact we haven't had our roadmap. Like, I have to believe that these are linked, and that there are currently changes happening behind the scenes to future plans, but like, the silence definitely, or the lack of recognition recently definitely isn't helping. You know what I mean? Even if it is for a good reason, like they're trying to formalize their plans to make it the best experience possible, it's still not helping. You know, like the lack of any sort of direction, public direction, let's say. We got to get a state of the game and roadmap together, right? Yeah, I have to believe that. Yeah. Balatro came out today too. What? God, I fucking love Balatro. This year? No, Balatro was last year, man. It literally was like the runner-up to the game of the year last year. Right? Didn't it win? It won the award that you don't win if you're not. Wait. Did it? I'm trying to fucking remember. I think it was definitely a nominee for game of the year because it was in the interlude. I think it won the runner-up award, but maybe not. I just want Blueprints to do well. I refuse to play any other game this year because I cannot let Blueprints be dethroned as game of the year in my mind. I will rob myself of life-changing experiences just to ensure that that game remains peak forever. That's where I am. I don't. What the fuck does that even mean? I totally forgot that Black Myth Wukong was even a real game. That's another one of those games where I'm like, I think this is a psyop. I don't know what's happening. This game is all of a sudden everywhere, and then it's nowhere again. Actually, like, honestly, I think my sentiments towards Black Wukong and, or Myth, Black Myth Wukong? Black Wukong Myth? Whatever the fuck that game was called. And Art, I almost said Art Raiders. Fuck me. And Arc Raiders are nearly identical. Where it's like that meme with the cat where he's like, the fuck they doing over there? That's kind of me. I hope one day Destiny 2 will be playable on Steam Deck, yeah. You guys remember all the dev resources they spent making it run on Stadia? Dude, it sucks, but the R-Raiders meme is genuinely funny. No, that's like fucking super funny. I think there's definitely a world where like in 5 years Bungie devs admit publicly they're like, no, that shit was actually high-key fire. It was an unfortunate situation, but the internet's funny as shit, dude. Not as funny as plagiarism will make me god. No, Art Raiders is like definitely funnier than that. That's the plagiarism one's like, that's a good one, but Art Raiders is actually like, just because it is the culmination of all like circumstance in the industry coming together. That one is just like way more cinema. Oh shit! Desert Perpetual last raid ever confirmed? Dude, what in the Grenader Jake take is that, dude? Jordan, what's up? Do you remember when Jake was like, I am convinced the final shape will be the last DLC and we will never get another raid again? I think I watched that on stream, but I was just like, yeah, bro. He was a year off. I'm doing all right. Jordan, how you doing? You know, Jordan, I was just thinking today, you know what I could use in my life right now? Some fucking Din Tai Fung. I miss it. I miss it so much.
Well done.
Civic's Prime cast a great shadow over us. With its destruction, the fallen devils will rule. But we must stay vigilant. The fallen are crafty, and they'll find ways to survive. They always do.
I feel like these last few runs have not been giving me good drops. Oh, not Sam. I'm so fucking jealous. One day I'll open my own franchise and I'll eat there every day. Aminator, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm in a fire team with these guys. No, they're the only two people playing. We're the only 3 people playing Destiny right now, actually. Oh, we're almost max light here. We're so close. Bro's using Augur like is actually a good gun. It's just what's on my loadout, man. I don't care enough to switch. Oh, fuck off. I still have yet, I think, to do a dungeon lair. I don't think I've done one. I'm so against the idea of a dungeon lair. I just like, I'm probably the #1 dungeon hater. Nope. Nope. Did not say that. I think I am the #1 dungeon lair hater. Fine, you know what? We'll switch it up. You guys want some switch ups? I love dungeons. I did the Galrun one stream. Oh, I did because it was I was floored at how bad it was. Oh, the BR is free, Jordan? I heard there's like tanks and shit in it. That feels very anti-BR. Tides. I'm gonna make a list. Everyone, send me a list of your top complaints in the game. I'm gonna send it right to Tides. #1, the fucking launch bug, dude. Dude, the fucking launch bug. Tides. Fix it. Yes! Getting kicked out of menus when loading in or out of an activity. Yes. Oh, man. Launch bug and bug where the game turns off when there are too many enemies. Oh man. Almost max light. We're almost there.
At Twilight Gap, yes. Fame formlessness.
Do I actually need to kill things here? Oh fuck, I'm not on that class anymore. I'm gonna die. Oh shit, okay. We're gaming. I just now remembered the fucking... Yes, okay. I should have put on a sword. Next run, I'm gonna put on a sword.
They say you are a great warrior.
I'm gonna be able to be so fast. I'm so excited.
Prove you are worth my time.
Do you guys remember? This was like one of the most just because you brought up Grum's Lab. Do you guys remember when Elon tweeted like, "Should I check out Destiny 2?" That was probably the Office gift that's like, "God no, please, God no." That's the closest I think I've ever been to that in my life. Man. Unrelated, but man, the bulletin account posts are so funny to me. 8 hours ago, here's a negative article about Destiny 2. 4 hours ago, your prophecy giveaway. Check the requirements for those Zero Prophecy giveaways, by the way. Number 1 requirement, sub to their Arc Raiders account that they probably bought. I will give 5 subs if you do Heaven's Vengeance and negative 30. All right, fuck them. Yo, Hugo, what's up? I'm actually really curious. 1 second. I need to know. I need to know. I shouldn't check this, but I'm going to. Oh, never mind that one. That might actually be an organic ground up account and only has 2,000 followers. That's called character growth, everybody. Can you list all your negative criticisms or goes to the T? Yeah, it's just the transitions are a little too long, and I'd say the bosses probably have a little bit too much health. But other than that, it's actually a cinema dungeon. You know, I actually found I had DM history of the bulletin account years ago, but I'm pretty sure it couldn't have been them. I can tell you the name of the account it used to be. Yeah, for sure, Jordan. See you, man. I'll DM you later, Josh. Always down this hill that Ghost was an S+++ plus day 1. But holy hell, this slug made me. Oh, I thought we fucking soft locked this shit, dude. I was about to be so angry. I'm squatting on a particular username on Blue Sky just so a particular Twitter account couldn't get it. Did you get the fucking Taylor Swift Blue Sky account so ATP couldn't get it? Dude, Mint Retrograde is so fucking good, man. I absolutely love Mint Retrograde. Hot take, I think Ekthar is my favorite dungeon encounter. That is far from a hot take. Is it my favorite? It's definitely up there. I really like Heffend. I think that's a really good encounter. That's almost like a raid encounter. Oh shit. I'll take Duality's the worst dungeon. There's no world. Look, I'm not the biggest Duality fan, but there's no world where Duality is worse than fucking Grasp. Huh? Where'd my guy go? Grasp was amazing. The first encounter and a half of Grasp were fine. I would say even borderline good. The shield encounter is probably my least favorite piece of content in any endgame piece of content in Destiny history. That shield encounter it completely crushes any momentum that dungeon has. And I don't think the final boss is anywhere near interesting enough to recapture it. Phrygia is a good encounter. That's fine. I'll give you that. Worse than the Crown of Sorrow jumping puzzle? The Crown of Sorrow jumping puzzle isn't even the worst part of that raid. The first encounter is. But yes, I would rather do the Crown of Sorrow jumping puzzle than the shield. I would rather do the first encounter of Crown than the shield. The shields of Grasp Avarice are just so offensively bad. They're very bad. I would say, I will say, Ghost of the Deep first encounter might take it. But at least with the Ghost of the Deep first encounter, it's the first encounter, so the rest of the dungeon builds up momentum. Whereas the shield encounter is like 2/3 of the way through, so you just like hit a freaking brick wall of momentum. It's like, it really kills the middle of the experience, which is such an important part of the experience.
Barracks. Phylax is down.
Her soldiers will scatter.
But the out of bounds in the shield encounter was actually, that was pretty fun. Like that couple of, those couple of weeks where you could cheese out of bounds stuff, that was really fun. I forgive the shield encounter because it uses one of the original House of Wolves tracks. All right, you know, that tracks with that's a Hoon take for sure. I respect it. I respect it. I think that has validity in its own way. See a dungeon layer? All right, all right. We'll do Heffend. Do you think they'll ever bring back the Red War? Not only do I think they will never bring back the Red War, I am of like the personal belief that it'd be an insane waste of resources to bring it back. Let's fucking go, Lab. Lab, you continually find ways to prove that you're my favorite. It's very impressive. Is it just me, or does ATP really love Taylor Swift? No, he really likes Taylor Swift, yeah. What's your favorite dungeon encounter? Heffend is up there. Puppeteer is up there. I'd like Puppeteer a lot more if you only had to do one side. The fact you have to do both sides is kind of a buzzkill. Renegades is up there too. I think Renegades. I haven't done Renegades since they changed him or made less copies of him or whatever. But I really liked Renegades when it came out. Ekthar's up there. If I had to pick my absolute favorite dungeon encounter, I'm probably going. Probably Puppeteer. Even though it's a little long, I just think, I mean, it's essentially a raid encounter. I really like the Puppeteer. Lockset's up there. I forgot about Lockset. I really do like Lockset. The idea of choose your own adventure encounter, very good. All right, I have yet to ever do this, the layer version. So it's is it just you jump up to Heffend and then it's Heffend? Oh, Zomok. That's a pretty, I would say, probably ahead of its time. Like, if you think about the jump from Duel and Karu to Zomok, that's actually, it's really impressive, actually. Like a staggering jump in quality between, or maybe not quality, but of this is not, is this right? Oh shit. Okay, I probably should have been on Solar Warlock. Oh god.
Guardian, down.
Alright, well, we'll just pull them. Should have been on grapple too. The only res is gone. Wait, huh? Bro? We only get one res. Isn't there like a trap here or something? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Dude, it's been so long. It's probably been 1.5 years since I've done this dungeon. Which is a shame because it's like a fucking baller dungeon as well. Do you get any more reses? Are there no champs? I think this is my favorite dungeon gameplay wise. I think I think Vesper's Host is a better overall experience if you include the loot and the puzzle and stuff. The day one experience, etc. Like, I think Vespers does that stuff a lot better. But I think, like, if I'm just gonna pick a raid or a dungeon to just go do and run through, I think this one beats Vespers just by a little bit. But like the pure amount of just shit that Vespers had stuffed into it is just so top tier. Like, I think how good Vespers is, like, don't get me wrong, I think Sunder Doctrine is a really good dungeon, but I think how good and how complete Vespers is really shows how incomplete, especially the kind of end game part of Sundered is. Like, the quests of Sundered are not very interesting compared to Vesper. Alright, how the fuck does this work? Totem? You have to cleanse the totem, maybe? Do you have to overlap the totems and cleanse them at the same time? It's like every time you cleanse a totem, you have like a certain amount of time to cleanse the next totem or something. I genuinely, it's been so long. Stay inside this totem. Oh shit! Oh my god, I don't have time on this class. Shoot the ticket ice we get in the totem again. Stay inside the totem to add DPS time. Oh, and you have to try to, yeah, it's like a certain amount of time after you, right, okay. So you want them to try to overlap with each other, right? Or you want to pop them at the same time? Oh, that's not good. Oh, we have reses. So now it should be damage or something. Oh, you have to punch one of these guys. Oh my god, I'm throwing reses. Holy fuck. I don't remember this shit at all.
Guardian down.
Why am I dying? Okay. Someone give me the 3-second version of that real quick. Oh, why did you just fucking run in there like that? Okay, one of you should be able to res. That's gonna be killer for
Guardian down.
Alright, we gotta stop splitting up, boys. No way, fuck. If we wipe, it probably kicks us to orbit. Because we have pressure cooker on. If he just survives, just survive and kill, just survive and kill champions. Well, it's definitely partially my fault for not remembering that mechanic, but that's really annoying. Oh, in what world is that fucking worth any engrams? Fuck that. No fucking way. You could respond? No, we didn't have tokens. I'm not doing Avalon, bro. Oh, I didn't fucking... I have to take us out of this. I don't think I said. Portal sucks example, yeah, on God. Oh, once again, I think there are some good things that the portal does, but... Oh, wait. No, wait, I should be good. I think we're good. Yeah, okay. Yo, what's up, Haunter? doing all right. We were talking about this earlier in the stream, Dylan. I think the radio silence just means that they're changing stuff behind the scenes. Like, I think... I wouldn't be surprised if the roadmap comes with the state of the game and things, like their plans for the next year, change quite a bit. I don't know, though. So I'm 442, or I'm 542. How much, how many levels does the chest in the tower give me? Is that +2 or +3? Yeah, maybe I should become a Minecraft YouTube channel. I never thought about that. Do I have any Festival of the Lost rewards left? Oh,
Guardian down.
You've got some fight in you. Good.
oh, that's not good. Oh, that's really not good. Sorry. I'm excited for the dawning based on the last 2 shiny event skins. Yeah, that's true. That is, I mean, dude, the events have been doing really well. The skins, the holofoils. It's like, I feel like so much of the game has been done really well right now, and it just makes it unfortunate that you'll not see a lot of recognition of that because so much of the game also is like not doing super well right now, you know? I don't like how finicky or how stingy they are with reses. Like, honestly, there doesn't even need to be reses in this game, though. Like, I don't understand why every ultimate activity has reses. That feels very bad. Yo, this guy, how's Edge of Fate treating you? Some aspects of it are fine. A lot of it, not super fine. Yeah, the new Trivium EP is really good. I'm a big fan.
Execute all targets. and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles.
Yeah, I'm curious what that's about. It seems like it has to be a personal thing because they said they weren't expecting him to leave. I don't know. The new guy they got seems really good though. What are the new chances we get new aspects instead of new exotic armor? I'd say fairly high. That's kind of what they've been doing. I think new aspects are way better anyways. Personally, I mean, generally they bring out new aspects and they're usable or even quite good. It's now, especially nowadays, it's pretty rare that we get exotic armor that's at all interesting. What area of the game would you guess the boss dust-choked Thrag is located? Dust. I'd say Mars, but where would that be? It sounds like a Cabal. Is it Destiny 1 Mars? Or is it Mercury? I bet that's public event guy in Mercury. I'm not really liking how this is going, not gonna lie. We can't build up our reses. Why is this acting like it's fucking about to die?
Another battle won, on to the next fight.
How do we drop the shields? Oh, these things, right. We have to do what, 30? Is it 30 waves now?
All targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles.
Your title has me in my feels. The doom and gloom around the game right now is really breaking my heart. Yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Deathstroke Thrag is the excavation site 12 lost sector. Oh, I farmed that lost sector a lot back in the day. Damn, we got the easy one right off the rip. That sucks. No bonus round. Can you still get bonus rounds? A bonus round with reses would suck so bad.
It's no wonder gods fall before you.
You got darkness empowerment bug? What? Game crash incoming? Hmm? What you mean? Yeah, I know, but what do you mean game crash? You might want to die. We don't have any reses. When satisfaction is locked on your screen, it will degrade your game's performance over time. Bro, why is this game so fucking broken, man? Oh my god. Alright, hopefully that stops my game from crashing. Not ideal, but better than crashing. Do you guys remember when Onslaught was announced? That was the first time we got to see Noah and all of his swagger, dude. He fucking killed it. God, those were the days, man. Into the light. Oh my god. Bring me back. I noticed they brought back the unique Gambit bank for rivals for Civ. I don't think that could work with... They could work with preview online content like that. They have to remake it. So they just had the... so my understanding is mostly what changed was like it's a physics engine thing and it's a lighting engine thing, I think. That's probably wrong, but that is my understanding.
Execute all targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles.
I could definitely still do without these mid waves.
what they call a righteous infliction of retribution.
Oh, we're making our way through it. Dude, actually, I have not used the axe enough. I probably should. It's like, it is actually, well, it's not obviously the best thing in the world. But well, like, it's actually really fun. I should use it more for sure. I remember playing this hunting for shinies ages ago. Dude, the shiny hunting days were so peak. Just getting home and grinding onslaughts. Just so fucking good. Peak farming in Destiny, for sure. Portal's so strange though. I farmed Courts of Blades for 4+ hours at a time, a bunch of different sessions last season, but I've been playing a lot of different content. Now I can only go for 2 hours max. It's not hitting the same. I think that's like an incentive thing as well, right? Like, there were some really good weapons in the Court of Blades. Also, it was a new activity. So like when you don't have as good rewards and you're playing old stuff, like they're taking away both avenues that are like incentivizing you to play. So that's how it goes. Just community sentiment, Immortal. Into the Light being free was kind of crazy if you think about it. Yeah. It is really good, though.
Fought well. Nothing held back as
Fucking
it should
peak
be.
content for sure.
Though, could always throw more grenades.
Alright, we're in the final area. Time to get to building. Really hope Destiny can come back from this. I haven't been playing it all, but I love this game so much. Yeah, still, same. Like, you know. I think everyone wants the same thing, right? So I'm so worried they're still going forward removing content for the portals still. I almost think they kind of have to, Vision. Like, I still think, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm not a game developer. I'm not a computer scientist. I don't know, but like I still think that it rings true that like the game becomes unwieldy for them if there's too much shit in it. It's like it's already falling apart. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the constant cycle in and out is not only to try to like pull interest a little bit, make things feel like there's a constant cycle of content, but part of me definitely believes that it's still a requirement for the game to even function or be able to be worked on. Like, if everything was still in the game, think about how much shit would constantly be breaking. Just like every time they change anything, something breaks. You know, that certainly has to get worse as the amount of things in the game goes up. I don't know. It's a hard fucking situation. If that is the case, that it's a hard situation. True, Contest of Elders has worked correctly since launch. No reses, 10 plus modifiers, always active. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, it hasn't, yeah. But that's like what I mean, like. And then like the more things in the game that are broken, the more time they have to spend fixing everything, and that's the less time gets put in on new content. It sucks, man. Unrelated to everything we've been talking about, fuck daylight savings. It's 5 p.m. Yeah, dude, fuck yes. Daylight savings should stop. Fucking the government's shut down and we're still doing this stupid shit. Like, God. It's so dumb. I hate it. I'm such a hater of daylight savings, man. Why is this turret... Is this turret not... Did they make them bigger? Is this not... Were they always this big? Like, I feel like they definitely did not used to be that big. Yeah, Chili? Oh, I've got the darkness empowerment buff again. Fuck. They are bigger? Okay. Here, I'm gonna die, so... How nice. Azercross is letting Frostbolt join them on their family vacation. What, dude? What the fuck is happening? Who else taking family vacation? Dude, what the fuck? They're just gonna tell us to stop making Doom videos every day? No, I don't think so. as much as I know you're joking, Mayo, but there is like a big narrative out there from people, especially that have never interacted directly with Bungie, that like they try to control the type of content that you produce or whatever. But I just can't stress enough how much that is not true. Like, the only time they ever ask to look at videos before we put them out or whatever is like just to make sure we don't break NDA or show anything they don't want us to show. Like, for instance, with Edge of Fate, some of the mods accidentally had the raid name on it, and so they went through all of our footage to make sure that we didn't show you guys the name of the raid early, like that sort of stuff. But I've never ever gotten a message from anyone at Bungie been like, hey, can you take that negative video down, or ask me not to make, like, that's just not how it works. And that's just super not professional. It's pretty sleazy, like, if they were gonna do something like that. It just, like, and once again, like, I know that's a narrative that certain types of content creators want you to believe, but it's just not true. And someone who has, like, creators that have worked directly with Bungie, like, all of us will tell you the exact same thing. Bro, this guy's being fucking toxic. All right, we're going into the final wave.
Execute all targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles.
Oh, I'll still be standing, bro. I want you guys to know, if we get a bonus round, I'm out of here. I'm bailing. Wait, okay. Oh, I thought we soft walked it, dude. I was about to be so angry. You guys were about to see a side of me you've never seen before. Alrighty.
I have prevented extinction level events that were gentler than you. Fantastic work.
Guardian, down.
Not really liking how none of this stuff is powerful. I'm quite bad about that. Oh, 44? Okay, that is. Can you give... No. No, Kaden, that's alright. Alrighty, 544. Dude, we went up almost 10 light today. Let's fucking go. That's where I'm going to have to call it. Nice 3-hour stream. We'll definitely hit 550 this week. The crash out happened during Milo's mock trial. Oh, dude, I forgot about that. I was so mad. Cross was literally the worst judge of all time, dude. Oh, man. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Yeah, Mordecai, thank you very much for hanging out. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll get through this. It'll be all right. Let's find someone to raid. Let's keep the love going in the Destiny community here. But yeah, like, let's fucking... It might be a long couple of weeks, but let's hope for some good stuff coming here soon. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much. We'll hit 550 later in the week. Pretty excited. See you soon. Love your faces.